In midair, a brilliant golden light burst forth, swirling intensely before gradually coalescing into the form of a colossal creature, each golden bone shard as sharp as a blade, connected to form a regal spiny armor. The creature slowly revealed its true form, a majestic Lich King in a splendid ceremonial robe and an intricate crown. Its two empty eye sockets glowed with blinding golden light, its two bony hands clasped before its chest as if performing an ancient ritual. Standing opposite that overwhelming presence were Hyrkan and his bone warriors. Under immense pressure, a glimmer of hope sparked within Hyrkan. I know how. If I fully empower the bones, perhaps I can do it. Without a moment's hesitation, he roared, lowering his stance. Bones, With a resounding boom, Hyrkan shot forward like an arrow, tearing through the air.
A pop sound echoed, the magical white smoke dispersed, leaving Hyrkan standing alone amidst the desolate, rocky land. Immediately after, a cold blue system notification appeared, the text clearly displayed, "Summoning cancelled due to insufficient mana." Hyrkan froze, his eyes wide with astonishment. Huh? A feeling of emptiness washed over him. Hyrkan clutched his head, shouting in utter bewilderment. Huh? As the days passed, Hyrkan brought a hand to his forehead, rubbing it lightly. He mumbled to himself, his voice full of self-mockery. Well, it was bound to happen. I summoned all four, and then had the mages cast all sorts of spells like that. How could there be any mana left?
Looks like there's no other choice, Hyrkan thought to himself, his gaze resolute. Before him, a colossal skeleton clad in magnificent golden armor clasped its bony hands together, its eyes in deep sockets glowing menacingly. Dust and dark aura swirled at Hyrkan's feet as he lifted his head to face the towering entity, a seemingly hopeless disparity in size. Yet, despite the overwhelming pressure, a confident and defiant smile appeared beneath his Haho mask, his eyes also flashing with an eerie white light. He subtly pulled up his sleeve, his voice resounding with exhilaration. Time to get this body moving again after a while? Skill slots. Activate. Instantly, a brilliant surge of blue energy erupted from his body, enveloping Hyrkan in spectral flames. His everyday clothes vanished, replaced by a suit of dark armor with joints shimmering with blue light.
A massive stream of blue energy began to converge. The air vibrated violently with a deep, resonant sound, signaling an imminent explosion of confrontation. Facing him, the Lich King wore magnificent yet decaying royal vestments, its eye sockets blazing with a dazzling golden light, full of power and death. But Hyrkan did not waver. Hidden behind his Hade mask, his eyes also flared with a cold blue flame, and a haughty, challenging smile spread across his lips. He whispered softly, his resolute voice echoing in the suffocatingly silent space. "Let's go." Immediately, dark energy enveloped Hyrkan and exploded. He surged forward like a black arrow, tearing through the air. His entire body was a blur of furious power, leaving blue after-images in his wake.
A brilliant golden halo burst forth, enveloping the dry skeleton clad in solemn ceremonial robes and a resplendent crown. Its eyes glowed eerily as it clasped its bony hands together, chanting an ancient spell. Horrifying energy converged, forming a colossal, intricate magic circle that radiated a blinding light. Without a moment's hesitation, the bony creature completed the incantation. From the magic circle, countless destructive light rays shot out like a meteor shower, tearing through space and hurtling towards Hyrkan. Each ray carried enough power to level everything in its path. Hyrkan moved like a phantom. He weaved and dodged amidst the deadly barrage of light, his body enveloped by a faint dark aura. Sweat beaded on his temples, a strained yet sharp smile gracing Hyrkan's lips as he thought to himself, "Just one blow would be enough to finish me, yet it unleashed so many. No wonder it's called the Rookie Killer. I won't stand a chance if I let it keep casting spells like this."
Countless radiant yellow magic circles illuminated the night sky, scorching the air and unleashing destructive torrents of energy. Amidst the magical storm, the skeletal Lich King raised his bony hands, commanding the horrifying fury. Facing that overwhelming power, Hyrkan did not falter. He stomped his foot hard on the cracked ground, a decisive thought flashing in his mind. "If that's the case," he muttered, his eyes glinting sharply, "then I just need to stop it from using them." He shot forward like a black arrow. The warhammer in his hand glowed with an eerie blue blue light tearing through the air as he moved. Instead of targeting the Lich King's body, Hyrkan focused all his power on one of the active magic circles. A deafening explosion rang out. Suddenly interrupted, the Lich King gasped with a silent roar, its fiery eyes gleaming with astonishment and rage.
A fierce golden magical explosion lit up the dark battlefield, its power shaking the ground. Hyrkan calmly observed, his sharp eyes analyzing every movement of the monster. A crucial thought flashed through his mind. Its hands are connected to its magic, aren't they? Then I just need to destroy all its hands. As soon as he found the weakness, a confident and somewhat arrogant smile spread across Hyrkan's lips beneath his Haho mask. He shot forth like a ghost among the graves, his body enveloped in a surge of dark energy, ready for the decisive attack. However, just as Hyrkan was about to act, a cold blue system message suddenly appeared right before his eyes. The area boss is staring at you. The confidence on Hyrkan's face immediately froze, replaced by utter astonishment. He could only utter a bewildered sound. Huh?
Suddenly, a series of cold system notifications appeared before Hyrkan's eyes, accompanied by ting-ting sounds like death knells. The area boss monster had seen through him. Worse yet, it was beginning to measure his skill level. Opposite him, the Lich King hovered in midair, its skeletal frame beginning to act, its bony fingers intertwined, forming complex and bizarre incantations. Orange-yellow magical energy began to gather, growing denser by the moment. Immediately after, a massive surge of dark purple magic violently erupted, swirling around the skeleton's body like an electromagnetic storm. The Lich King's entire body glowed, its eyes and empty sockets locked onto Hyrkan's small figure below. Standing amidst the barren, cracked land, Hyrkan looked up, his face behind the Haho mask showing extreme astonishment and confusion. What the hell is this? What's happening? He mumbled, unable to believe the boss's sudden transformation.
A colossal purple energy surge exploded violently, emanating from a dazzling sphere of light. Its destructive power ripped through the tranquil space, creating a terrifying seismic event. Swept away by the shockwave, Hyrkan gritted his teeth, struggling to stand firm amidst the energy storm. The ground beneath his feet shattered into pieces, his body feeling as though it would be torn apart by the immense pressure. What the hell is this? Damn it, it's catching up to me. Hyrkan screamed in despair, sweat pouring off him. He turned, putting all his strength into his legs to flee from the scythe of death hot on his heels. Immediately after, an earth-shattering explosion resounded. The purple energy stream engulfed Hyrkan, submerging him in a sea of destructive fire.
A colossal stream of purple energy flung him backward. He was dragged a long distance across the cold ground of the desolate graveyard, dust and debris swirling thickly in the air under the faint moonlight. Finally, Hyrkan came to a halt, kneeling on one knee, gasping for breath. His entire body trembled from the aftershocks of the recent attack. He looked down at his shaking hands, eyes wide with astonishment and confusion. What the hell is this? A crazy attack I don't remember, he roared in his mind. Before him, a massive, deep trench, glowing with an eerie purple light, had been carved into the ground, a testament to the enemy's destructive power. Hyrkan slowly stood up, his sharp gaze sweeping over the ruined landscape. He brought a hand to his chin, his expression turning pensive. Could I have remembered it wrong?
In the thick darkness, Hyrkan racked his brain, trying to rummage through his memories. Does this golden skeleton set have a hidden rule, or has there been a power balancing patch, like with the Minotaurs? He let out a long sigh, the usual cold smile on his lips, unable to hide the tension in his glowing eyes. I don't know, I can't remember, Hyrkan mumbled, his hand tightening its grip on the staff. It's been a few years since I last hunted a golden skeleton set. It's frustrating, without a skeletal summoner and unable to remember all its attacks. So how am I supposed to defeat that thing? Without a moment's hesitation, a column of deep purple energy shot straight towards Hyrkan, carrying destructive power, devouring everything in its path.
Amidst the desolate landscape of a forgotten cemetery, beneath a sky tinged with mournful purple, Hyrkan stood alone, his hand gripping his heavy war mace tightly. A steely resolve shone in his eyes as he observed the invisible enemy. For now, he muttered to himself, I suppose I'll have to try everything I can. At that very moment, the space around him was torn open by an enormous purple energy stream shooting directly towards him. Whoosh! Hyrkan swiftly dodged. The blast destroyed the ground where he had just stood, creating an explosion that shook the entire area. Deadly energy beams were fired relentlessly, tearing through ancient tombs and sending debris flying. Hyrkan moved constantly, tumbling through the air, his black cloak fluttering wildly in the intense barrage of attacks. His eyes behind the Hade mask gleamed sharply as he analyzed the situation. I can dodge its attacks as long as I know their trajectory, but the problem is I don't have time to counterattack. As the thought flashed, another energy beam whistled past. He was forced into an absolute defensive stance, continuously dodging the relentless energy storm, finding no opening whatsoever to launch a retaliatory strike.
Hyrkan carefully assessed the situation. I have to find its blind spot somehow, he mused, his green eyes sweeping across the ruined battlefield. Suddenly, a sense of danger washed over him, making him freeze. Hyrkan's eyes widened, a belated realization flashing across his face, half covered by the Haho mask. He blurted out, "Damn it!" Before he could react, an invisible force struck him hard. Hyrkan only managed to let out a pained ugh. The golden skeleton extended its massive bony hand to seize Hyrkan. A dazzling golden light from it enveloped everything. It tilted its head back, letting out a piercing roar, "Keek!" a sound sharp enough to tear through space. The ghastly light in its eye sockets flared as it decisively brought the small prey in its hand to its mouth. Held tightly by the giant skeleton, Hyrkan could only look up, facing the overwhelming and deadly presence of his foe.
Hyrkan let out a dry, irritated laugh, sweat beading on his forehead as he faced the constantly shifting enemy. Huh, damn it! Just how many attack patterns does this guy have? It's truly a game of chance. Before him, a massive magic circle, glowing brilliantly gold with intricate ancient runes, flared intensely, illuminating the dark space with its terrifying power. Yet, amidst this precarious situation, a cold, sharp smile suddenly appeared on Hyrkan's lips. The tension from before vanished, replaced by challenging self-confidence. "But you know, I also have my own ace up my sleeve," he whispered, his voice echoing in the silent space. "Curse imposition." Instantly, a surge of dark purple energy swelled from beneath Hyrkan's feet, enveloping his body like a demonic cloak. He delivered a decisive kick to the monster's head. A cold system notification appeared before Hyrkan's eyes, confirming his achievement. Target stats reduced by 13%.
Without hesitation, Hyrkan escaped the boss's crushing grasp. He plunged directly into its eye socket to attack. He thought to himself, "I didn't know how to get an attack opportunity, but it just gave me one." Immediately, his descent transformed into a deliberate dive. A fierce blue aura erupted, enveloping his body like a whirlwind. Energy converged, roaring around Hyrkan's fist, and his eyes glowed with a mesmerizing, resolute blue. "Thank you." He clenched his fist, all his power concentrated into a single point, plummeting down like a fiery meteor. Just as the colossal skeleton opened its ribcage, Hyrkan roared his final words in ultimate exhilaration. "You!" An earth-shattering explosion resounded. Hyrkan's punch, imbued with destructive energy, slammed directly into the monster's core, causing the surrounding space to vibrate violently.
A gigantic blue stream of energy roared, tearing through space and striking directly into the ground. The terrifying power of the attack caused the ground to shake violently, cracking into large fragments amidst a series of continuous shattering sounds. Under that immense pressure, the giant skeleton of the boss monster could not withstand it. Bone fragments shattered, scattering like shards of gravel, mingling with the thick dust. Its final breath, carrying a blue soul flame, also vanished into nothingness. Amidst the ruins, Hyrkan stood firm, his silver hair gently swaying. A self-satisfied and chilling smile appeared on his face as the mechanical victory notification echoed, confirming the outcome of the battle. Boss defeated. Immediately, a brilliant golden light erupted from where the boss had fallen, enveloping the entire battlefield. Hyrkan silently watched the scene, witnessing his enemy completely obliterated, leaving behind an unusually profound silence.
The clear notification bell echoed amidst the hazy space, golden dust, and magical remnants. A series of blue system windows appeared before Hyrkan, announcing his achievement. "You have slain the golden skeleton." A colossal amount of experience points flooded in, followed by a massive sum of gold and a new title, Skeleton Destroyer. Finally, the most anticipated message appeared, radiant and full of promise. "Level up." Hyrkan panted, his Haho mask unable to conceal the exhaustion yet profound satisfaction on his face. He burst into laughter, a hearty laugh mixed with relief. "Haha, seriously, I almost didn't make it. If the battle had lasted 10 more minutes, I surely would have failed." With that, the dark energy surrounding Hyrkan began to dissipate. His magical armor slowly retracted, returning him to his usual appearance in a hooded coat. After regaining his composure, he immediately commanded Status Window. Instantly, a blue information panel appeared, clearly displaying the achievements he had just gained after the life or death battle. Level 36, with both strength and intelligence stats exceeding 100.
Joy erupted within Hyrkan as the notification appeared. Level 36! He couldn't help but let out a hearty laugh, raising a fist into the air in celebration. All right! The excitement quickly faded, replaced by a cold, confident smile. Of course. Yet deep within those emerald eyes, a hint of worry flickered, and a bead of sweat gently rolled down his temple. He muttered, "If things continue like this, it will be very dangerous." The status window showed a mana count of 141. Hyrkan pondered, "This number isn't low considering I've only invested minimum points, but it's still not enough. Until now, I've managed thanks to titles and rapid leveling, but now, as the number of skills I need to use daily, that slight advantage is no longer enough to compensate. I've increased strength to support the skeleton warriors, but what good are they if I can't summon them?"
Amidst the desolate and gloomy landscape, Hyrkan sat down, his hands clutching his head in distress. He muttered to himself, "I've already acquired all possible mana titles at this stage. I want to buy better equipment, but I don't have enough money." Suddenly, a determined smirk appeared on his face. "That's right, never mind, who cares?" He sprang up, his body filled with energy. As he thought, Hyrkan happily jumped up, dashing swiftly through the eerie graveyard with its densely packed tombstones. "First, I'll send the video to Romeni, then grind to level 40. Today, I'm having beef ramen. Kuhaha!" On the playback screen, the final moment of the battle was spectacularly recorded. The character in the video, with a hare mask covering half his face and cold blue eyes glowing, wore a triumphant smile. The words "boss defeated" appeared impressively. A finger slid across the mouse and, with a decisive click, the video paused, ready to be sent.
It was Romeni. She was reviewing a video recording of Hyrkan's battle. Suddenly, her eyes widened and her fatigue vanished without a trace. Thud! She slammed her hand onto the soft pillow on the table, then ran her hands through her hair in utter astonishment. Is this guy crazy? He defeated a higher-level boss without taking a single hit? And he could perform such a risky maneuver right on the spot without any practice. What a natural talent! Unable to contain her excitement, Romeni sprang from her chair, jumped around, and ran circles in the room with her hands raised high, her face beaming with a satisfied smile. After a while of releasing her emotions, she plopped back into her chair and spun around gleefully. Her gaze returned to the screen where Hyrkan's image remained. With a bright smile, she thought to herself, "The raw video is already this amazing. I won't need to do much editing. I must send him the completed video file."
In the dim room, lit only by the computer screen, Romeni's fingers glided rapidly over the keyboard. She was deep in thought, trying to find a perfect title for her latest video about Hyrkan. What should the title be? She mumbled to herself. The ruler of the skeletons? He can do everything by himself? Ideas swirled in her mind, but none truly felt right. Suddenly, a spark ignited in her mind. Romeni's eyes widened behind her glasses, and a bright, excited smile spread across her lips. She exclaimed, "All right, I'll go with this one." With a decisive resolution, she shouted the perfect title she had just thought of as her fingers quickly typed it onto the keyboard: The Solo King.